Greetings. Still morning, so I guess good morning. So I've been reading, as I do occasionally, this book, Angel Maker by Nick Harkaway. And Nick Harkaway is a London author that I first started reading in Seattle. Came across this book, The Gone Away World, and then have been anxiously awaiting for his next book, Angel Maker, to come out. And it comes out February 2nd, I think, in the UK, and in March in the US. And he released a kind of a short story that happens before Angel Maker, kind of as a marketing tool. His publisher put it out free on the Kindle only, and I went to download it and I couldn't download it. And because it was UK only, it wasn't available in the US. And even though I live in the UK, my Kindle account is still set up through the US, so I can only buy it through the US Kindle store. And the short story wasn't available in the US Kindle store. It was really kind of crazy. So I did what any good person would do, and I whined and complained on Twitter. Not horribly, I actually just gave Nick a hard time, and was very nice about it, but whined nonetheless. And as such, Nick was very kind and sent me the book, the actual physical book, for free. I had took the nice dust cover off because I've been traveling, been reading it on the tube. I didn't want it to get ruined. So part of that is a disclosure for the FTC to say that I got this book for free. It's a great book and you should pre-order it. Get it when it comes out. Really enjoying it. But Nick has a common theme in his two books about really big, nasty weapons, about wars. Very fanciful. His previous book, Gone Away World. The weapons are just they're very sci-fi, but I don't know. Nick Harkaway knows this, and I think has even said himself his books kind of defy description a little bit. So, but Nick and I are almost the exact same age. We were both born in '72, both children of the '80s. Nick grew up in the UK, I grew up in the US, so obviously I think there's quite a few differences, but so many similarities. And as most children of the '80s, we grew up under this threat of nuclear war. Movies like The Morning After came out, constant nuclear escalation between the U.S. and Russia, and literally, we believed that any minute nuclear bombs could fall out of the sky and annihilate everyone. In the 80s, that's kind of what we grew up with, and that influence has obviously impacted Nick and his writing, and it's in both of the books. And as I was thinking about that, I started thinking about this. I live in Europe now, so I'm in London. I've been traveling around. I've been to half a dozen countries already, or more in the 6 months that I've been here. And me and the family, my wife and kids, we've been reading tons about all of and going to museums and seeing all the evidence of all the wars and all the battles and all the fighting. That they're documented, wars and battles that go back longer than any European country, and it's amazing how that desire, that need to fight and to conquer is in mankind, and yes, probably more predominantly in men even, but women aren't completely faultless in this. And I started thinking about it, and I made the jump to business, as I tend to do in my brain. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, business really is kind of the new battlefield. You read about these CEOs that are like generals, and consumers are the new land, the new territory that they're fighting over, market share. And it's just, the metaphors that we use for marketing and business are war metaphors. And I wrote about it in a previous post, and I'll be sure to link to it, about this book called The Science of Coercion, which talks about the birth of marketing and PR and demographic research, and it all stemmed from reactions to the propaganda efforts that Hitler was using. And of course, the government claims that they were trying to understand it so they could fight it, but I'm sure there were ulterior motives there as well. And I think about, in marketing and social media and how we talk about persuading people and influencing people. And while I think a lot of us have very altruistic intentions, it's very easy to see how that could become twisted. And so I don't fault or criticize people who are paranoid, because I think someone needs to be paranoid. And I think it's good for all of us to keep a healthy dosage of paranoia in mind when we talk about human influence and how we persuade people, because it can get out of control, I think, very quickly. But at the same time, I think that if hopefully, like me, your intentions are, we use words like influence and persuade, but really what it is how can I get the right message to the right people? How can I better deliver to people what they want? Not how can I convince people that they want what I have. And to me, that's kind of the fundamental difference. But it's still that, business still tends to fit this need to conquer and to fight. And to be honest, I would rather have the result of loss of jobs than loss of life. If it really is ingrained in us to struggle and to fight, then I would rather have it be over business than over land any day. And I would rather have a double depreciation than genocide. So hopefully that's not inherent. Hopefully we can rise above this and think about how can we actually help each other, how can we build something. It's kind of the altruist side, but at the same time I'd be lying if I didn't say I don't get competitive. We all do. So just something to think about on this Thursday, right? Pretty sure it's Thursday. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.